County as well to give you a little bit more information. Also, we are fortunate to have an ASL interpreter here, and we're very glad that they are here so that we can reach more of our community. The best news today is that we met our objectives. Our objectives were to connect the hand lines to the bulldozer line. So from the east side and the south side, we were able to connect those lines, and we have much more of a fire line around this fire than we did this morning. So that's very, very encouraging. The fire did grow about 50 acres. That's on the west side in the open space, but not anywhere near the homes. And right now we are sitting at 10% containment. The fire line on Deer Creek Canyon Road is holding, so that's also very good news. Earlier today, you probably saw some darker plumes of smoke out in the area. That is the fire burning back in on itself. So nothing has left the area that you already know, that we all know is already on fire. Nothing is outside of that area right now. All the things you're seeing back there are within that area. And as you can see, also we have chopper support here that are putting out some of those spots. But basically it's going back in, and it's catching things on fire that were already part of that burn area that maybe just hadn't burned before. There is no additional threat to anyone right now because of those plumes that you're seeing, and that's really important, obviously, for people who are in those areas and are holding their breath right now, and all the evacuees. So we just want to make sure that they know that this is not anything that they need to be scared of right now, and if anything changes with that, of course, we will let you know immediately. No structures at this point have been compromised at all. And we tell you that specifically because we want to make sure. A lot of people have asked if they can fly their drones over their properties, specifically evacuees or just people, if they can go over the burn area or over their homes. Please do not. Please do not fly your drones over there. That interferes with what they're trying to do with the firefighting. You can see how low these choppers go to get to those areas, and any interference with that at all is just not okay right now. So please refrain from doing that at this point. We had 2 sprained ankles in the past 24 hours with firefighters, but they're both doing just fine, and that's the extent for injuries, so we're very thankful for that. Also, there is an interactive map on the jeffco.us website. When you go there, at the very top is the Quarry Fire alert. When you click on that and you scroll down, there is an interactive map. A lot of people have been using it, so sometimes the perimeter lines aren't showing up right away, and that's just because so many people are on it right now. So just have a little bit of patience with that, but that is the best way to see those lines as they progress. As far as the investigation into how this fire began, we want to let you know that we are actively investigating this, and if anyone has any information that could help us, please call our tip line at 303-271-8200. We are using all resources available to us at this point, and that includes the state canine arson dog. And that comes out of the Department of Public Safety and the Division of Fire and Prevention and Control. So they are assisting us as well with a canine that is specifically trained in order to sniff out sources of fire and possible causes of fire. But again, we encourage the public, if you have any information, if you have anything on your Ring cameras that is around the time of the start of the fire, please look and let us know if you have any information that you can provide to us. And again, call that tip line, 303-271-8200. That's all I have for right now, but I want to introduce you to Cassie Pierce, who is the Director of Communications for Jefferson County, and she has a little bit more information that's real important for you.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Cassie Pierce. I'm the Public Affairs Director with Jefferson County, CASSIEPEARCE. First of all, I just want to say thank you. This community is absolutely incredible, and the generosity that we've seen is mind-blowing. We've just had so many people reach out about donations and volunteering. So I just want to extend a huge thank you. That being said, we are also receiving a lot of phone calls and emails about donations. The best way to help is to please fill out a form on our website if you have a donation that you'd like to offer up. That will really, really help us to streamline that process and make sure that those offers are getting into the right hands. The second bit of information that I want to share with you is for the folks who have been evacuated. So if you have been evacuated, please check in at the evacuation site. Even if you are not staying there, that is the best place for you to go to get detailed information on your next steps. So especially over the weekend, there's going to be some critical information. We're working on a plan so that we can get folks into their home when it is safe. Again, we're not talking about a timeline for that right now, but we want to make sure that folks are prepared and they have what they need so that when the time comes, they can get back to their home safely and quickly. I believe those are the only updates that I have for you. Thank you.
So again, today was very encouraging. Yesterday we were cautiously optimistic, and today we're even more optimistic that we're making really good progress with this fire. And the temperatures tomorrow, it's blazing hot out here today as it has been, but tomorrow it's supposed to cool a little bit. 89 is supposed to be the high tomorrow, so that's encouraging as well. And are there any questions that anyone has? We are always worried as to which direction the wind moves. Fortunately today, when those wind gusts were happening, they were blowing it back on itself, which is a huge advantage for us, and it doesn't make it worse. But we have people watching this 24 hours a day, so if there's movement in any sort of direction, if the fire is not acting like we think it should be acting, or it's acting erratically, then obviously we're going to get resources into that area immediately. Yes, it's the hand digging, the firefighters in there breaking their backs to dig these hand lines very aggressively. The hotshot teams on top of our local firefighters that have gone in there and done everything they can to aggressively attack the ground, make decent space in there to make sure the fire can't jump over. And then additionally, we have the air support, as you can see behind me, and the bulldozer lines also are huge for anywhere we can make those happen. So it's the combination of all those things that have allowed us to get a little bit of containment.
So firefighters are digging these holes like with their bare hands and shovels?
Not with their bare hands, but they have tools. But yes, they are using the tools, but it's rocky terrain. It's very difficult terrain. It is just very, very hard, and it's on steep areas. And so it's just a very difficult thing, and it takes longer than it would in most fires. But they are doing an amazing job, and they're amazing, really amazing.
For the people who've evacuated, they're supposed to check in tomorrow at Dakota Ridge High School. A lot of them have, gone elsewhere, gone far to stay with family and friends. What if they can't make it the next 2 days to get that re-entry verification that they'll need to get back in whenever that time comes?
So on a case-by-case basis, we're going to deal with each and every one of those to make sure everybody gets what they need. We want the majority of people, anybody who can possibly get to that area. It's just going to make it so much faster and quicker for all of us if they can get there in those 2 days between 10 and 3. But if they can't, on a case-by-case basis, we will make sure that people get what they need.
And if they don't have that verification of address, a lot of them just left really quickly, right? And they have to get out. What if they don't? Is that like a license? Is that like
A verification, obviously a license would be the best. It can be a utility bill, it can be a variety of things, anything that you think could prove that you live there. If it's in an email somewhere, if there's a way for you to show. We are going to work with people. We understand that the people had to evacuate very quickly. We're going to work with everyone as best we can to make sure that we can prove that they're residents and safely get them into their homes when it's time. Yeah, and I apologize, but I was just told that I did not give you the right, I need your face ID. I did not give you the right tip line, so I apologize. Let me give you the correct number here. If you guys could change this, it is 303-271-5612. 303-271-5612. That is the tip line if you have any information regarding the investigation into the cause of this fire. The total acreage, it was 240 this morning, so plus 50, so 290.
in terms of that investigation
did I say 430? 430 plus 50. 430 plus 50. I'm bad with numbers today, apparently. No. I thank you for calling me on that. I appreciate it. 430 plus 50, so 480. Hopefully, I did my math right on that. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I just know that our investigators are hoping that the public can help in any way possible to give us any sort of leads into anything they might have seen or heard or know. We can't comment on anything in regards to the investigation and when it comes to that kind of stuff, sorry.
What would you say to people in the evacuation center at Dakota Ridge right now?
How many people?
Or just what would you say to them as they're...
We are updating them 3 times a day in person. We know how personal this is. We know how scary this is. I was a Marshall Fire evacuee. I know what this feels like, and it is scary. When you see the plumes of smoke, it's scary. When you feel a wind gust, it's scary. And we are doing everything we can to make sure you guys have the very latest information. We will not stop until you are all safely back in your homes. We will continue to provide you as best information as we possibly can throughout this entire thing.
Can I just ask about your resources? Are you seeing like consistent support from here? But it seemed like earlier today that there was fewer flights, fewer helicopters, and then when we saw the plume, it looked like it kind of picked up again. So do you have those dedicated to you, or are they going back and forth just fire?
So the choppers that you see behind me are dedicated to us, and they've been on standby. The crews on the ground were making very good progress and on those lines, and so they didn't need those resources earlier today. Now that a few of the hot spots have flared up, that's when they come in and they take care of those. And so they're used when they're needed, but we still have those dedicated resources. It is different at any given moment. People are coming in and out. They're coming in and out for information and to check in and to see their neighbors. It's just a constant flow. I do have that information. Right now we have approximately 225 firefighters on the ground working hard. It's day by day, but this is a priority fire because of how close it is to homes. And we will do everything we can to get as many resources here as possible to make sure that we can attack this as best we can. And we are so grateful for all of the mutual aid that we have throughout the county, throughout the state, that have come in and relieved our people and then come back out and then, taken those rotations and those turns so that nobody gets too tired and they can keep doing their great work that they're doing.
In terms of the investigation, is there any indication that this was intentionally caused, or are we looking at natural causes?
So we mentioned earlier today that we do believe this was human caused. Therefore, it is an arson investigation. That does not mean that it was intentionally caused, but it is human caused, and because it is human caused, that makes it an arson investigation.
Can you talk about where the origin is? Because I think initially you said kind of off the road, but I know there's also a recreational kind of park up there. Is it in the park where this started, or just
I do not know. I'm sorry. I can get that for you, but I apologize. I just don't know that.
Is the fire still a quarter mile away from your structure?
Yes. The closest to the homes has not changed. The fire has not advanced toward any of the homes. So we still have that distance between the fire and the homes.
Do you do any extra mitigation around Lockheed Park and some of the Waterton Canyon because of the water resource that Mark McClure had talked about yesterday? Or is there more prevention focused on those different structures?
We absolutely work with those at Lockheed Martin to make sure that we're in step with everything they're doing, everything we're doing. As far as amount of resources with them specifically, I don't have an answer to that. But certainly we are in conversations with them every day, and we have great communication with them.
And then lastly, we had seen a fire, I don't know, it was like a fire truck really far into the neighborhood.
So we have two things going on. We have those who are digging the lines, right? Those that are trying to contain the fire. And then we have firefighters that are going through the neighborhoods, pulling combustibles away from homes, putting water down, trying to make sure that if the fire does get in that area, that the homes are as safe as possible. So they are going through and doing everything they can to mitigate anything that might come up should that fire come into the residence area.
Would you summarize the biggest challenge you've seen today and your biggest success you've seen today?
Our biggest success is that we were able to connect the hand-dug fire line and the bulldozer fire line, and that we were able to get around the south and the east sides there. Those are also our biggest challenges. So we have very steep terrain, we have very difficult areas to work with, and so the fact that we were able to make that progress today is huge, but it's also our biggest challenge. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Our next briefing will be at 8 a.m. back here.